Hi, Aries. So yeah, I got through the whole reading this time, and you weren't there because I hadn't pressed the record. So, Three of Swords. Welcome to your Harsh Truth reading. This is your reading for February 13th through the 27th. So we have the Three of Swords as the bottom of the deck energy. This is grief and sadness and loss. So somebody might be feeling that right now in the relationship, either you or your partner. We have the Five of Wands, Ace of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Emperor, which could be you, Aries, Three of Coins, and the Queen of Swords here. Okay, so like I said, I got through the whole reading, and then the little red dot was actually white, that it wasn't recording. So bummer. So for this, the Five of Wands, the conflict, the tension, and the drama was clarified with the Devil, which could be Capricorn, and Justice, which could be Libra. Okay, so this is about tension, conflict, and drama, and that is preferred over things ending. One of the things about the Ace of Swords is it represents an ending or things being cut off, okay? So this is about preferring the tension, the drama, the conflict, because at least you're still in the relationship. There's still fighting. There's still connection. We're not ended. You don't want the ending, okay? Part of the reason you don't want the ending, or specifically the reason you don't want the ending, is because the fighting has resulted... The fighting is because, and the drama and the conflict is because I feel like somebody wants some answers. I feel like there's an unhealthy situation, or there's like an elephant in the room, or something's holding the relationship back. And somebody has gotten vertical and is like, I want some answers. I want to know the truth. I'm starting to feel controlled, oppressed, managed, manipulated, and we need to have an honest conversation about what's going on, where this relationship's headed, things like that. But this felt like manipulation to me also, that, because we got the Emperor here, and this right here, it felt like someone was not being honest with someone else. And that's what was unhealthy. And this was all about getting some honest answers. Okay. So then you're hoping, actually, again, for some honest answers, because you're feeling like things aren't right. You want some clarity. You want to know what's going on. We need to talk. I need you to be truthful and honest with me. This could also, but at any rate, this is about an unhealthy situation, being involved in fighting over an unhealthy situation where you need the truth, you need an apology, you need a balancing of the scales here. It can't just be all one-sided in this complete oppression. Things have to be balanced, right? You're calling for the truth and for balance. What actually is happening is what is actually true. This is what you want. What is actually true is this is a passionate pursuit. This is all about somebody. This is a very social, passionate pursuit in this sense, right? This is not the Knight of Swords, who kind of does things just on a whim and they just take off, and Knight of Swords can be very solitary typically. It reminds me of somebody riding back and forth on horseback in front of their soldiers or warriors and like amping them up, or like that locker room talk before you go out onto the field, like, getting that, everybody rallying, everybody, getting everybody revved up. That's what it is. So this is also a passionate pursuit. Like I said, assertive, confident. This could be Leo, okay? So, or it could be Aries or Sagittarius. The thing is, they are watching and waiting. And I feel like they're waiting for some kind of return on a message that they sent out. I think there is somebody that is interested in somebody else. I'm not sure how much involvement there's been yet, but somebody has kind of involved their friends or social media. There might be some posturing going on, but there might be some indirect communication about somebody else, and they're waiting to hear back from that person. Like somebody sent out this sort of information that, or whatever, that I'm interested in so-and-so, or is asking about so-and-so, hoping that it'll get to that person, and they're waiting back to hear what's going to happen. Okay, this is someone's interest being elsewhere. I think that you are aware of this, and this might be a pattern for this person to do that, and you're like, you know what, I know what's going on, and I need you to own up to it. And I say that because this is what came out for the Emperor. right here. Okay, so I think you want someone to own up to their culpability in a situation. I think you're tired of the control. I think you want to have an honest, authentic conversation about the emotional health of this relationship. You would like someone to be able to be vulnerable with you, or at least be honest. You just want to know that you can trust this person. You want them, you know, because you've been looking at the relationship, you've been looking at it, why can't they? And you know something's not right. You know it is. This, if you suspect this, which I think you do, you're right. And you really would like somebody to be able to take a look at their own culpability in this possibly marriage, or at least this committed connection. I think you also might feel controlled, but this also could speak to that you want order restored. You want things to be as they should be. You just want a normal relationship that's balanced and fair and equitable and connected. Instead, you've got this drama and somebody, you know, escalating and up in the ante because, you know, control issues and keeping the situation. This is something being pursued and desired on the down low, or maybe not. I mean, maybe somebody's out in the open about it, but this is someone waiting to hear back from someone else. And I think you know about it, and you just don't want your heart broken over it, because this right here is about knowing that things aren't going to change, or looking at all that's happened and maybe recognizing a pattern or two in there. And it's like, whatever, it's almost like a decision that has been involuntarily made. Like, you can't not know what you know. You've all of a sudden you're like, crap, this is a pattern. This is going to keep happening with her or with him. And I just don't know what to do about it. Maybe it's like, can we talk to somebody? Maybe you're saying, you know what, we need help. We can't solve this on our own. Can we go talk to somebody about the marriage? Maybe we need marriage counseling. After all that's gone on, we need to talk to somebody. The Emperor represents an expert in their field, so it could be a doctor, lawyer, judge, therapist, marriage counselor, somebody that's at the top of an organization that gives expert advice. Okay, so it could be that too, that you're really wanting to get help and clarity, to have some honesty and solve all these issues that are coming to the fore now. That basically it's like, you know what, we're almost at the end of this is 20, the world, which is a definitive ending, is at 21. So you're like, we're almost there. We're in crisis. Will you please acknowledge that? And can we please talk? But actually, we've got, sorry, it was like this. Sorry. Nope. It was like this. This is how these came out. Okay. And this flipped. This was, I was shuffling in this, sorry, no, it was this way. This flipped. So we had the Queen of Swords here. That could be Libra. It could also be Aquarius or Gemini. So what actually happens is you're like, can we please work this out? I want honesty. I want answers. I want you to own up to what you did. I know what I saw. I know what I know. Stop trying to manage my impression of things. Stop gaslighting me. Stop trying to control me and manipulate me, and be honest with me. And meanwhile, we've got someone that's actually working on another passion project, shall we say. And that forces whoever the other person is to basically, all right, I'm going into bitch mode. I'm going to be making some decisions. I'm going to be cutting things off. I'm going to be doing things void of emotion and just handling business. So it's almost like whoever this is, Aries, they had their chance. And eventually someone just goes into like, I'm not messing around anymore. And this is how things are going to be. Okay. And the thing is I think, Aries, that it could be that someone is coming from a very unbalanced perspective because they're so frustrated over here that this is what they want, but they're just not getting it. In fact, they find out that this is never going to change. Somebody could be very petty with their communication, very silent treatment, very, just emotionally cruel or immature. And I feel like this is not serving you, Aries. I feel like you're going to come to a point where you're going to realize that the other person is coming from a very emotionally unbalanced place. They are very immature, or they play emotional mind games, and they are very controlling. Because one of the things about this was like, oh, someone's going to get vertical and just end things. And then these cards came out, and it was like someone is very defensive about their position. That could be you wanting resolution and honest conversation, but I also think this is somebody that's firmly in the seat of control, and they, it could be you going, I have had it, and losing your marbles and just, salting the earth, cutting things off, just losing your ish, and devoid of emotion, you cut things the F off, right? Because you're pissed. Okay, this is somebody that's pissed, okay? But what I think it is this is the realization that somebody is very manipulative and controlling and plays emotional mind games, and they might even be aware of it and they don't care because they've got all these things behind them that are theirs. It's mine, mine, mine. It's all about me, and they will staunchly defend their position. They might even appear that they're wounded by somebody's accusations or questioning, but they have no intention of moving their position. They are defensive as hell, and they are on guard and guarding all of this and guarding their position. This could be somebody, to be fair, that has mood disorder or mental health issues, okay? But coupled with a royal swords energy or court swords energy, it feels like this is a person that has narcissistic tendencies, okay? And somebody that is just has a really unhealthy or problematic way of relating to others, especially in a romantic relationship. There's no compassion, no emotion, no emotional consideration of others, and they're not sorry about it. They're very diva-like. That's putting it mildly. So for me, Aries, I'm thinking that you need to get the hell out of Dodge. I don't think that there is anything for you. I don't think you're going to get the resolution, the acknowledgement, the absolution. I don't think you're going to get any of that from someone else. Not that you need absolution, but the request for absolution. You're not going to get somebody coming to you saying that they were wrong, that they're sorry, that I have a problem, this and that. This is somebody that the more you push, the more they're going to escalate and up the ante, and possibly the more it's going to trigger them or make them more unbalanced and defensive of their position of being right, of giving the silent treatment, of the emotional cruelty, whatever's going on. It's not going to resolve it. It's going to make it worse. So this could also speak to you, like, get vertical, get your back up, make those decisions to get you the hell out of Dodge, because you're not in an emotionally validating, compassionate, or balanced relationship at all. Okay? All right. So then I have this flipped. This is about breaking free, so it's kind of doubling down on what I just said. This flipped when I was shuffling. This had come out, okay? And I was in the process of shuffling because this flipped. I was going to shuffle and get another one. So that's where we are now. Okay, so this came out first and this came out. So this is about this shelter. And I was like, get you some shelter. Get yourself out of there, Aries, and get you some shelter. And this is about breaking free. So all of this control here, all of this manipulation and management and this gaslighting, like, no, it's not my fault. What are you talking about? And you're like, I want the truth. And they're like, what are you talking about? Why are you so sensitive and weird and crazy, right? And you're like, do we need to go talk to somebody? Why won't you just own up to the past? And you're taking this marriage and my commitment to it for granted. And you just, and they're looking at you like, I got you right where I want you, right? Get out of there, find some shelter, and break free. Okay, to the amazement of everybody around you, break free. And I think I even said, where was that? This was a 7 and there was something else. So, okay, well, anyway, break free. Okay, you did that, yeah. And it might seem like you can't until you do, and then you did. Needing to break free. And this is traditional customs, things being followed because they've always been followed. Same with the emperor. Everything is a certain way because it's always been done a certain way. We always do things this way. And then to everybody's amazement around, you break free because you know what? You people, everybody around me, you have no idea the hell that I've been living in. I can't, this is an untenable situation. I cannot handle somebody that's going to be emotionally abusive to me and that sort of thing. I feel like I keep hearing to the amazement of others around you. Nobody expected you to leave. I don't think anybody knew how bad it was. For some, it might just be like everybody's going, well, what? That's just the way marriage is, or that's just the way, you knew this when you met this person or whatnot. But that doesn't mean you got to stay, right? You break out of there and find shelter. For some of you, this could be much more serious than you know, just simple act of just leaving definitively. This could be that there's a need, you need to get the hell out of Dodge and find shelter because it's much more serious. And I hope that's not the case. I really do. But either way, this is speaking of this situation is not for you. All right. Aries. Aries. That would explain this right here, this and this right here. This is talking about things that bewitch us. It's lust, it's attraction, it's often very shallow. Look at all these flesh eaters around this. You know, here's a femme fatale, right? But this speaks to things that bewitch us. You know, moth to the flame here. We've got, you know, a poisonous plant for that bird. And then we've got all these flesh-eating things. And then here's the prize right in the middle. And it's never worth it. It's never worth it. But it sure is alluring and entrancing, and that's probably how the relationship started. Very passionate and very just, you know, that otherworldly connection. The sex is probably off the charts. Well, guess what? Sociopaths and narcissists are very good at sex. Why? Because they need you to be whipped. That's another way they can control. And they probably moved at a hell of a frantic, adventurous, frenetic pace because, again, they need you off balance to wear you down so that they can start to control. So by the time you realize what's going on, you're already in too deep. So this speaks to that. Okay, all of that. The bewitching thing that's often shallow in the end, but boy, have they got you in their grips. All the more reason to get out of it. It's not emotionally healthy. You probably feel like you might be under the spell and you need to break free. Okay. The same thing. So sorry, I was going to speak to this. So I showed the devil with this earlier too. This is about how it might have started with you and how it feels. That's also the same pattern repeating itself for whatever situation this is right here. They're starting up again. They're finding someone new. Maybe you're getting ready to be discarded or something anyway, and that's why you're so torn up and heartbroken. They're going to do the same thing to somebody else, okay? Because this right here is how it started with you. All right. Okay, shutting up now, Aries. I'm sorry. I wish you truly safety with this. I hope that you find a safe place, and I hope you get out of there soon. I don't see anything for you here. This is not a healthy situation for you. Okay, please take care of yourself. I hope to see you in the next reading. Thank you for stopping by.